Hello everyone, Daniel Kerr here. Yeah, I'm in my vehicle and driving to the skateboard park. It's funny, I take up to 150 milligrams of melatonin every night, and my wife kind of was doing that for a while, and she kind of like stopped doing it. She takes amitriptyline for headaches, so she was experiencing some fatigue, etc., so she stopped doing it. At my wife's work, she has an optical practice, and where she works, everybody there got COVID. And then my wife started feeling nasty, and I kind of knew what it was. And then my kids, right down, my 4-year-old actually got sick. And then everybody in the house tested for COVID except for me. And I think the melatonin had something to do with it. My daughter Eden also did not test for COVID and did not get sick at all. And she also takes melatonin every night because she sleeps better. And everybody in the world is deficient in melatonin right now, and you need it for every cellular function. That's a different conversation, though. Another thing is, I'm going skateboarding. I want to talk about this Riot energy drink for a second because I found them all for 99 cents at my local grocery store. It has 150 milligrams of caffeine, but this is all organic ingredients and all plant-based, and this is amazing, actually. It's got Tulsi. It's got holy basil. I don't know if they stopped making them. That would be unfortunate because I did find them all for 99 cents, and I bought all of them, but they are really, really good. So I'm going to be driving and talking at the same time. All right, what I want to talk about mostly is I had somebody from Nebraska hit me up, and they are an old friend, and they're just down and out, and they want to come stay at my house. And I do this often. Many people come and stay with me if they're just having a hard time in life, and I am totally and 100% okay with that. They are welcome because that's what God has called me to do, to help people recognize and to reveal the person that they were meant to be. And some people are getting off drugs. That has happened a few times. I've had people who are moving across the country and their place to live fell through, so their whole family ended up in my tiny apartment in Denver for a while. That was pretty stressful, but it was also enjoyable, and it was okay. I had a girl, a young lady, who her and her daughter were escaping physical abuse, like a domestic situation, and she was in hiding. So that was also, everything comes with their own set of problems. So what's interesting is that whenever these people hit me up and they want to come and stay with me, it seems like there are three major mental issues that they all seem to suffer from, or to at least be entertaining in some way, these three lines of thought. And those three trains of thought are very, very detrimental to their situation, I can tell just from viewing it from the outside point of view. And have been detrimental in my life as well, anecdotally, like in the past. So I just want to address those three things, all right? These are my three suggestions, all right? I'm going to be preachy without being preachy, okay? Number one, stop talking bad about other people, okay? Every one of these people who have ever hit me up are gossips, and they are totally like, well, you wouldn't believe this is what happened, and this is what happened, and this is what happened, and this is who did me wrong, and then these guys did me wrong, and these guys did me wrong. Oh, they're all pieces of crap, and this and that. Stop talking bad about other people. All right. For one thing, I'm a Christian, so I believe that even the people who have done me wrong, that God loved them enough to send His Son to die for them, and so I'm okay with it, right? They're redeemed in my eyes. It has nothing to do with me. Okay. Along the same lines, these people are very, very negative, right? And that's my second thing. This isn't going to be a long video. Stop being negative. Think on the positive side of everything. You can learn something from your terrible situation, even grueling, heart-wrenching tragedy, death, and these things that are just heartbreaking. The worst tragedy still has something inside of this situation that can teach you something. In fact, you'd be an idiot if you didn't learn something from the worst things that happen to you, right? You learn things about who you are. You learn things about how of what mistakes others and yourself may have made in bringing about these situations, or even if it has nothing to do with you, you can look at it from an outside point of view, outside the box, and you can see what kind of things other people did that you can avoid. You can learn how to some people have rolled with the punches or have experienced tragedy gracefully. How, there's so many things to learn. So stop being negative, right? There's a lot of talk these days about toxic positivity, and I guess I'm guilty. I don't know what threshold causes positivity to move into being toxic. I'm not sure where the cutoff line is, but what I do know is that if I'm having a hard time and I want to pull myself out of a rotten situation, the first thing that I need to do is to go somewhere and to just be as grateful as I possibly can for everything, right? Which leads me to the third thing, all right? And that is take responsibility for where you're at, all right? There are some unforeseen circumstances that maybe are outside of your control, right? I'm always going to have somebody who's like, oh, you can't always control who you are. What if you're born into slavery? Okay, yeah, that's a terrible, terrible thing. I'm not saying that being born into slavery is your own fault, all right? Or that, that was meant to happen to you. I don't know what kind of a dick believes that kind of stuff. But what I do know is that every single situation in my life that brought me to this point had an element of my response, my reaction, how I responded to things, how I handled the situation, and I am responsible for where I'm at. And guess what? If you're watching this video, you're responsible for where you're at too. And that's just the way it is. It all goes back to being grateful. So yeah, those three things. Number one, stop talking bad about other people. Number two, look on the positive side instead of the negative side. Stop talking about every bad thing in your life. It's okay to recognize the negative things in your life for the sole purpose of setting a benchmark and a threshold from which to move forward, right? It's okay. But you're not going to dwell there because it's bad for you. And number three, you are responsible for where you're at. You're not allowed to be complaining and grateful at the same time. You can't be angry and grateful at the same time. You can't be talking trash on other people and be grateful at the same time. So what I'm saying is, be grateful, okay? And I love you guys. I'll see you soon.